The film begins with a scene featuring police vehicles. Inside one of the cars, a criminal is seated next to a female officer named Helle, who observes his confusion and nervousness. Helle instructs the driver to pull over and removes the blindfold from the criminal's eyes. She tries to calm him by engaging him in conversation, assuring him that he is safe. Once she senses that his anxiety has decreased, she signals to continue to the courthouse. Upon arrival, they are met by journalists and onlookers. An individual tries to approach the police vehicle but is quickly stopped by the police, who tell him to back off. As Helle tries to protect the criminal while they enter the courthouse, he is tragically shot in the head, dying instantly. Meanwhile, in a detention cell, another prisoner awakens to the disturbance. This inmate goes about his routine, starting his day early and heading to the prison yard. While playing chess, he notices a group of inmates bullying another prisoner. Initially, he refrains from intervening, but he eventually steps in and invites the harassed inmate to join him for a game of chess. This man, named Zaid, advises the younger inmate to follow the prison rules for his safety. When the young man asks if anyone is waiting for him outside, Zaid does not respond but encourages him to keep playing chess. In the evening, Zaid is seen making a paper bird at his desk, which has a photo of a young boy named Noah. The warden informs him that his father is visiting, but it turns out to be Helle. She asks if he knows Mutter, a gang leader known for recruiting young boys. Zaid denies knowing Mutter and questions her interest. Helle suggests that he infiltrate Mutter's gang in exchange for his release from prison. Zaid does not immediately accept the offer, reflecting on the courthouse shooting and Helle's loss of the young man. She questions whether he wants to return to his previous life and the time he's missing with Noah. Without responding, Zaid returns to his cell, writes a birthday letter to Noah, but ultimately decides not to send it and chooses to sleep instead. In the middle of the night, the warden wakes Zaid, suggesting he move to a different cell. He is relocated to a cell previously occupied by a gangster, leaving him confused about the reason for the move, which the warden does not explain. In his new cell, Zaid discovers the paper bird he crafted and realizes that his transfer is part of a specific task. The next morning, he is taken aback when a group of inmates enters his cell and removes a photo of Noah from the wall, joking about whether Noah is a boy or a girl. Disturbed by their mockery, Zaid retaliates by hitting one of them, causing the gang to leave. That night, he tries to call Noah to wish him a happy birthday, but Noah doesn't answer. The following day, Helle visits Zaid in his cell. He expresses his willingness to take on the mission, with the condition that he can reclaim his former life. Helle appears satisfied with his decision and presents him with a parole letter, indicating his potential release upon successful completion of the mission. She outlines a plan for Zaid to gain the trust of Mutter's gang through a particular deal. Later, Zaid takes a bold step by confronting and fighting the gangsters from earlier in the prison yard. The next day, he meets with a man named Adil to discuss the fight. Zaid learns that Adil holds considerable influence in the prison and has good relationships with some guards, leading them to agree to collaborate. Zaid is then instructed to confront a young man, the son of a sex worker, in cell 157. Accompanied by Adil and his group, Zaid goes to the cell and is shocked to find the same young man he had previously played chess with. After this encounter, Zaid is released from prison and goes to a tall building, asking a young man named Diddy for directions to the 23rd floor, where he used to live. After spending some time on his balcony, he attends an exhibition and runs into his ex-wife, Stein, who works there. He congratulates her on her pregnancy, but she is surprised by his unexpected freedom and feels unprepared for their meeting. They have a disagreement, but Zaid is adamant about seeing his son. Eventually, Stein relents and allows Zaid to watch Noah during a soccer practice. As evening approaches, Zaid receives a call from Jimmy, who requests a meeting outside Zaid's building. When he enters a car, Jimmy suddenly halts the vehicle, and Zaid feels someone grip his neck from behind. Jimmy reveals his intention to keep an eye on Zaid, citing his past as a doctor, and expresses doubts about Zaid's dealings with Adil and his crew. After this tense moment, Zaid is left on the roadside. The next day, Zaid and Hella meet at an exhibition. Zaid updates her on Jimmy's surveillance. Hella gives Zaid a microphone and a GPS tracker to gather intelligence on Mutter. She reassures him that their plan is confidential and that the police will believe Zaid is integrating into the gang. At dusk, Jimmy picks up Zaid and takes him to a designated location. Before they enter a room, Jimmy inspects Zaid's belongings. Inside, Zaid finds Mutter and his gang, who assign him the task of performing surgery on a wounded man. Zaid requests that the room be cleared to ensure a calm surgical environment.